Always a pleasure interviewing her. She is Barrister Elizabeth Funmi Ayodele. She's a barrister at law in the United States. And then she has a good understanding of what citizens should do to obtain their rights, demand their rights from government and what government should do. So, Barrister Elizabeth Ayodele, welcome to the program.
Hi. Thank you for having me. It's nice to see you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, it's a pleasure seeing you again today. Now, when we talk about rights, what are we talking about? Because in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and as amended, there are rights and there are privileges. So you can't just look for your rights without also understanding the privileges and then understanding what you also owe your country, isn't it?
That's true. It is true that you owe your country loyalty, you owe your country, being a good citizen, caring for your country, wanting the best for your country. But holding your government accountable is a part of loving your country. It's a part of taking responsibility for what is best for your country too. It's not anti your country to want your leaders to be accountable, to vote as a right, to want it's part of wanting the right things. And this especially becomes the case when people feel as if they don't have that much control over that many things. Other than looking after their family, other than looking after themselves, they don't have that much control over everything else. So the people that are, because there's sort of designated roles for everybody, right? There's a designated role for this regular citizen, there's a designated role for the council chief, there's a designated role for the governor, there's the governor designated for the president, ministers. Exactly. There's a job. Everybody has a job to do, and everybody doesn't have the same job. So then people are left with looking to, whether it's their local government or their state government or whoever it is, looking for wanting. What are they doing about this, or who is responsible for this, or because everybody is not responsible for everything, and so it's a natural part of the citizens' hope. The wish is to know how they can proact, how they can come together and ask their government for this, and the government should not be intimidated by people wanting things, because at the end of the day they just want to have the things that will make their lives manageable, the things that will make their life, because if we don't have roads and we don't have schools that are just things that take care of our day-to-day lives and things like that, it makes life impossible. And you can't start a school, you can't start paving roads, but you can't physically, you think about those things. So the task, that the idea that we love to know should I write to my senator in Lagos State, should I go and join a protest, people's desire, their interest in knowing what they are supposed to do should be seen as should be welcomed a bit, and not seen as as problematic, although unless they get too rowdy or too crazy. But really, at the end of the day, they can only do so many things themselves. So and you don't want them to start paving roads. And so you say you are a non-state actor. Why are you paving? Why are you suddenly? So exactly, you want them to. So it's natural to.
So you talked about everybody obeying the law.
Yes.
That the government shouldn't be intimidated when the citizens are asking for their rights.
Yes.
Now we look at the government. How does the government ensure that nobody is above the law? Even the political holders, everybody is answerable to the law.
It's not easy, because I think that it's in our political climate in this country, the most attractive thing about power for people becomes that then they sort of start acting like they are the law.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day is really useless in a lot of ways, because then it's really hard to encourage the young people to follow rules when the people that they admire don't follow rules. So you have to understand that it's almost like, parents raising children. I know politicians don't think of themselves as raising the next generation, but they are. Indirectly, they always are.
Okay,
they are.
Take for instance, what is happening in the Lagos House now? What is happening in the Lagos House of Assembly? Are you aware of what is happening now? So what do you think? Why has the government, because we see it as the law is not being upheld. Because if the law is upheld, people will know where they belong. Right. You see Obasa coming on to tell us that he's not...
That's not the essence of this particular program. So that we don't derail, we're going to have a guest on that issue.
Okay.
You were trying to explain what the government should do and shouldn't be intimidated and all that.
Well, I was just being specific about just the issue, the idea that the government should not be afraid of people wanting to of the law, of allowing the law to uphold. So there's a kind of joy that people seem to get in becoming the law, and they don't realize that in the long term it's really derailing the future of the country, and that they should try as much as possible to make it's tough because a lot of times the way people get to where they are as government, as winning elections and things like that, are often, I don't want to accuse anyone of anything, are often a little bit corrupt. So then they don't want rules there that is going to accuse them and going to hold them accountable to how they got to where they were. But the cleaning, the sanitizing has to begin somewhere. And there has to be faith in our heart that the sanitizing is actually going to make things better for everybody. And it's going to teach the generations it's going to teach our young people more, something that the system is something they can believe in. It is really, really difficult to convince them that the people that they are looking at in government are worth obeying when those people are not obedient to any rules at all. It makes the younger ones also feel like they should be able to do whatever they want to, because they think those people are doing whatever they want. They are just doing it at a higher level, so they are using that to. So they just end up feeling that way. So it's not. So it's good for them to see a situation where they are held accountable. In other words, it's a teaching moment if the young people see that there are rules and there are laws that actually reprimand the people they look up to. I know that seems surprising to you because you think, they want to see them be above everything.
So how can the government be held accountable? How can the government be held accountable for not upholding the law?
I mean, a lot of it begins, like I said, is with the people. So since we live in a democratic environment, we are supposed to be able to elect the best leaders and people who are responsive and responsible. But in a lot of ways, poverty and there are people who buy votes and things like that takes over that takes over sort of the conduct and the way in which our electoral process works, so that the best candidate is not always emerging out of the voting season. So the only thing is, activism helps a